So in other words, don't just sit on the sideline hoping. Actually, get into the community,
Yeah.
plug in, and we talk about this so much. You just touched on it. Is getting in with the people. It's all about the people that are doing what you want to do, whether you're just starting out or whether you've gotten good at something, but you're not in that community. The community aspect of this is so important, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you really have to, like I said, you have to get out there. Artists tend to be introverted, right? They're in their studio creating. That's why they have agents. I believe I want to talk about my company, what I do myself. I don't want to rely on somebody else to do it. So that part of my personality, continues to have to be developed. But being out there with the people is the only way people, they're going to know about what you're doing. A lot of people are reluctant also to share their ideas. There's enough for everybody in the world. Okay, your one idea, people are afraid they're going to steal it maybe, but you got to talk about it. You got to get people excited about it. And I'll tell you what, when you talk to people, you're developing your own mission statement, your own sales script. The more you talk about it, the better you're going to get at it. And when people hear the passion that you talk about, whatever it is that it's your thing that you want to do, that's what gets people excited. That's what gets people to buy in to your vision. You're bringing them in, but you got to get out of the chair. You got to be in these social networks where you're interacting with people, or else no one's going to know. You can't just protect it. You got to get it out there.
Excellent. That is excellent feedback. So we talked about people that are kind of our age that want to pursue this passion and everything. A lot of these people are they have families. You and I both have families. I have 3 kids. You have a daughter. Can you kind of talk about the importance of why and how your family fits into it, and the importance of having a reason, a purpose to what you're doing, other than just drawing pictures for people?
Yeah, yeah, that's such a great question, and man, you're gonna have to suck it up, really. The Freelancers Union, the great thing about that is these articles you get, they do talk about you do your day job and then you got to go home and work on your passion, right? Well, you're gonna have to muster up the energy to work on it. Now, if you, like, one of my taglines is it really work if you love what you do? So it's a labor of love, but it doesn't feel laborious. So you're going to have to work your day job, right, or your night, whatever it is. For me, it was working the midnight shift. It's a graveyard shift, for crying out loud. I'm sleeping while other people or I'm working while other people are sleeping. Then I got to come home and still work on what it is I'm trying to develop. So you're going to have to muster the energy, and you're going to have to put in more hours than the average person, because whether you're supporting yourself or supporting a family, family members, friends, whatever it is, you have one job that gives you regular income, right? Maybe your benefits, and you're trying to pursue this and develop this thing on the side. So you're going to be putting in more than an 8-hour day, right? If you're really excited about it, some of these things that you enjoy doing the hangouts and stuff like that with your friends, those things you're going to have to put aside. It is a balance, right? I try to save a few days for Sunday. That's my faith and family day. I call it Faith Family Fun Day. I really try to focus on my time with my wife and my daughter on Sundays and not worry about work. Mm-hmm. But on the other days, I'm working my normal job, and that's 4 10-hour days, and then I got to do all my artwork and everything else on the side as well. So I'll often get up at 2 in the morning to draw, just so that I can start work at 6 o'clock, start my 6 o'clock day. I get out of work after 4:30. Then I come home and have dinner with the family, have a little bit of family time before they go to bed. So I've adjusted my schedule. I mean, if I showed you the Excel spreadsheet I made just to manage my time, it's something that you have to be prepared to do in pursuing your passion. It's not just going to happen thinking about it. You have to put it into action, and that's going to require energy. So how do you get that energy? Well, part of that is from being in your communities, right? Having people encouraging you, saying you can do it. Supportive family members are always great. A lot of them may be hesitant or reluctant at first. Oh, what is this that they're doing? But you have to put those naysayers aside. If it's in your heart and you truly believe it's something that you were meant to do, that every day you wake up, you spring out of bed versus falling out of bed, right? It's a totally different mentality. So I don't know if that helps answer your question about energy, but you will have to balance work and passion life. And
Right.
and every freelancer has done that. I mean, if you read autobiographies of people that have been successful, I think it was I'm trying to remember what artist it was, if it was Charles Schultz or if it was um, I'm trying to remember who it was, but they had a whole, or maybe it was shoot, I'm forgetting his name now, like Norman Rockwell or something like that, where they had a job, but then they also did something else on the side. They never left that side job to still continue to do what they loved. So I remember it was somebody famous. Don't quote me on
So, so how does your family feel about all this, and where do you see all of this going, down the line for you with how it all works together for, I've kind of gone out of order, but this is important at this point. I think
that.
talk about where you see it going down the road
Yeah.
for you, and what your long-term vision is
Okay.
for you and your family.
Yeah, and you did ask me the why question, so I think this is probably a good time to answer it. Yeah, in order to get through all these hills and valleys, this roller coaster of life, and trying to pursue what you want while still maintaining um, income, and if you're supporting people, that adds a whole other dynamic to it. You have to have a strong why. Now, what I mean by that is you have to have a reason why you're putting yourself through what you're putting yourself through. Lack of sleep, 4 or 5 hours of sleep to get to where you want to be. For me, as I developed this last decade, I saw a lot of great financial successes, and then we hit some really big valleys. And it was in the valley that I realized that what I need to develop has to be bigger than just buying a second home or getting a nicer car or some material things, right? So what I vowed is as I went through this realization is that the future successes that I'll have and the big goals that I have for my company are going to be, so one, to take care of my family. That's the priority, but it doesn't need to be that. It has to be a lavish lifestyle, but take care of my family, make sure that we're covered. My daughter, she has money set aside if she wants to pursue a college education. And then everything else in excess is going to be used to help people. My wife's very passionate about cancer patients. She wants to help with holistic healing and making sure people are living healthy lifestyles. That's a passion and a vision of hers. For me, it's the mission my mission is to help other creators. I want to use opportunities like this to share a message, to get people empowered. Especially with public schools, a lot of them are pulling the arts out of schools, and it takes away from a huge dynamic of our society, our culture, our history of being able to write, being able to create. And so that's, for me, part of my why is I want to be able to help people. I want to be able to give scholarships to other creators that maybe don't have the financial ability to pursue something they want to pursue. So I have a lot of other creative ideas, but that's my why.
That's awesome, and I think that's important, it was funny after we talked on the phone the other day. I sat and I talked with my wife about, how energized I was from our conversation, and she and I have talked a lot about that. What our family why is, what is the shared vision between what she wants to do and what I would like to do. And we've talked a lot about that, and you mentioned that um, you really bugged your wife a lot about finding out what she really wanted to do, and I think I've been in that situation too. And she wants to devote time to St. Jude's. She's really passionate about St. Jude's and what they do. So our why is, like you, I want to help people, and I want to help others kind of identify their passions, and like you said, empower them to build on that and grow it into something that they can actually lay their hands on. But the larger picture is something even greater than that. So I think that's really important to see something out in the distance that's bigger than yourself, that really drives you to it. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. And what happens too? It's a cool phenomenon. But what I found was at the dinner table, we'll be eating dinner, and I'm always talking about things that projects I have, ideas I have, a connection I made, and it was always about me. And I felt like I didn't really like that at the dinner table. And so that's when I started bugging her, because I didn't want to just keep talking about stuff that was going on with my business. I wanted to transfer that energy, right, to my daughter and my wife and really get them excited about something. So in the course of that, my wife got super excited now and realizing that she had this huge passion for horses too. So it's not just about, a healthy living or healthy lifestyle, but it's also getting back to her childhood and something she really loved, which was horses. And now she won't stop talking about horses, and we go to horse shows. And so, and my daughter's picked up a love for drawing. I have not pushed it on her. She also is a very talented singer. So I give her ideas on all these ways she can use all of these artistic talents that she has. But my point is that by transferring this energy to other people, this empowerment, that's another gift you're giving people. You're getting them to dream again. I always have these conversations with people that, just in passing, where we have a little bit of time together, and I ask, is this what you went to school for? Or getting them to talk about what they've always wanted to do. This energy, though, is contagious. And when you talk to other people about your passion, like I'm doing with you, you can tell I get a little amped up about it. And it is exciting, and that's what I want to get, kind of, stir the pot a little bit in other people's souls about, why am I here? Why am I here? Is there more to life than what I'm just doing? And so to preface that, though, be careful that you're going to talk a lot in this passion, right? As you're developing this, you get out of bed, you're excited about it, you have this vision, you have this dream, but you're probably going to talk a lot about it. Just be conscious of that, because a lot of people don't like you just talking about yourself, right? I do it because I'm excited, but you also have to be aware of the conversations you're having. And so I always try to really make sure when I'm talking to people that I'm mirroring, but I'm also hopefully getting them to do some of the talking by asking them a question, because it's really easy to do. Once you get excited about something, just be cautious of it. It's something that I had realized that you need to, make sure you transfer the conversation back to them. Let them, do some of the talking, and hopefully they'll come through your excitement, their own passions.